So in 3.5, we're going to deal with scale drawings. A scale drawing is a smaller representation on a piece of paper of something in real life. And we're going to use the unit conversion method to create scale drawings. So let's review unit conversions. So we're going to convert 8 feet into inches. So 1 foot equals 12 inches. The feet cancel. 8 times 12 is 96. So 8 feet is 96 inches. 6 inches is how many feet? We're canceling inches now, so 12 inches goes there. We cancel the inches, 1 foot goes there. Well, 6 over 12, 6 divided by 6 is 1, 12 divided by 6 is 2. 6 inches is half a foot. So a map, all right, whether it's Google Maps or a paper map, is a classic scale drawing. It's a representation, much smaller representation of the real world. California in reality is way bigger than that. All right, so the scale on a map is the unit conversion. So I took a map of Florida here, and hopefully we know Orlando and Miami Beach are in Florida, and I measured with a ruler that it was 3/4 of an inch between Orlando and Miami. So I had 3/4 of an inch, and the scale, usually in one of the corners, they give you the scale on a map, and said that 1 inch equaled 300 miles. Now I'm canceling inches, so I'm going to put the 1 inch there and the 300 miles here. All right, so we're canceling inches and we're going to turn it into miles. How far are Orlando, Florida and Miami Beach, Florida away from each other if they're 3/4 of an inch on this map? Now 4 goes into 300. Let's see how many times it goes. 4 into 30 goes 7, because 4 times 7 is 28. Remainder 2, bring down a 0. 4 into 25. All right, so it's 75 miles. All right, so now it's 3 times 75, and yet you could have multiplied the 3 and the 300 first. That might have been faster here. 3 times 75 is 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 7 is 21, plus 1 is 22. So, and I think that's a pretty accurate reality, is that they're actually 225 miles apart, but only 3/4 of an inch on the map. But notice, it's the exact same math as the last lesson. So it's Sacramento and Los Angeles are how far apart? Well, they were 1.5 inches on my map. Well, 1.5 is equal to 3/2. So 3/2 inches, we're going to convert that into miles. Once again, 1 inch on this one is equal to 250 miles. So those cancel, and 2 goes into 250 125 times, right? Because 2 goes into 2 1, so I can do it the long way. So I was able to do that in my head, but let me just show you. 2 goes into 2 once, bring down the 5, 2 into 5 twice, 2 times 2 is 4, remainder 1, bring down a 0, bring down a 0, and yes, it's 125. So 3 times 125 is 375. Now I know some of you are tempted to say, well, that's showing your work. No, this is what I want to see. I want to see the unit conversion method. Again, this is not the hardest thing we're doing with this. We're getting much more difficult than this. You need to be expert at setting up the unit conversions. You all know how to multiply numbers, hopefully. Right, so a scale drawing. So every building that's ever been built, legitimately, let's say that, has a drawing of it called, it used to be on blue paper called blueprint. So those are scale drawings. So you're looking down at a room. I didn't put, there's a bed maybe in there. It said it's a bedroom. There's got to be a door and a window and things like that. But you're looking down at this room, and it turns out this side here is 4 1/4 inch on the map, or on the scale drawing. So we want to find out the actual measurement. So 4 1/4, right? We never multiplied mixed numbers, so we're going to make that 17/4. So on the drawing, it was 17/4 inches, but somewhere in the corner it said the scale equals 1 inch, we're canceling inches, equals 2 feet. So we can cancel the 4 and the 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So we get 17 halves feet, which is fine, but 16 halves is 8. So this is 8.5 feet. So on the drawing, it was 4 1/4 inches, representing a room that is 8 1/2 feet wide. So that's how it works. Okay, so now you have to read the ruler yourself. Now, that's one of the reasons we did this earlier in here. All right, so this length is 2 and what? All right, so it's 2 and 4 what? 4/16. But now you could leave it that way and simplify later, but you're just going to make your life harder. So let's simplify that, right? The reason this inches become fourths, so that's 2 1/4 inches. Now again, we need it as an improper fraction, so that's 9/4. So we have 9/4 inches, and we want to know how many feet this hallway is, or this room is. And so we have, in this one, it was 1 inch equals 16 feet. The inches cancel. Oh, that's nice, because the 4 cancels with the 16. And then you have 9 times 4, 36 over 1, also known as 36 feet. So this was 2 1/4, or right to there, but in reality the room is 36 feet long. So now we're going to go backwards. An architect needs to make a scale drawing. So in those ones I was showing you the scale drawing and you were telling me about the real world. Now we're going to make a scale drawing. An architect needs to make a scale drawing of a house that is 36 feet tall. So we're saying that this distance here, right, is 36 feet. And he wants to use the scale, and this is one of the things he has to decide because he wants to fit it on a piece of paper, but he wants to use the scale 1 inch equals 4 feet. So let's use the scale. Now feet are going to go on the bottom because we're canceling feet now, right? And so we can cancel. 4 divided by 4 is 1, 36 divided by 4. So when he draws the house on the paper, if it's to scale, we say, it should be 9 inches tall when he draws it. A race car designer wants to make a model of a new car, right? So every car that's built, there is a scale model built first, okay? So the real car is going to be 18 feet long. So the model, using 1 inch equals 4 feet again, we're going to put 4 feet down here and 1 inch here. We're going to cancel the feet. 4 and 18 are both divisible by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 18 divided by 2 is 9. So we get 9/2 inches, which we could do. But let's say most people would say that is the scale model, which was going to be 18 feet in reality, will be 4.5 inches long in the model. All right, so let's practice. So what's the distance from Nashville, Tennessee to Chattanooga, Tennessee? Well, I measured it was 2/5 inches, and the conversion on this map was 1 inch equals 325 miles. So now 5 goes into 325. Now it ends in a 5, so we know it goes in nicely. So let's see, 5, that's a 2. So 5 into 32 goes, but not 8. 5 times 6 is 30. Remainder 2, bring down the 5. Oh, so it's 65. So 2 times 65 is 130 miles apart for Nashville and Chattanooga. So this, oh, decimals for the first time. So this room, I didn't say what was in this room. It could be anything. But let's put a door and a window on it. And it's 3.5 inches from there to there. So we have 3.5 inches, and then 1 inch equals 6 feet. So we cancel. And so, right, you could do this as 3.5 times 6. We could also do it as 3.5 times 6, right? And then you would make that 7/2, right? Because 3.5 is 3. 3 times 2 is 3, plus 1 is 7, 7/2. And see the advantage of using 7/2, right? Some people end up wanting to always use decimals, but actually fractions was, if you could make 3 1/2 7/2 in your head, doing it with fractions was easier, right? Because you cancel the 2 and the 6. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. The answer to this is 21 feet in reality, but if you do it here, 5 times 6 is 30. 6 times 3 is 18 plus 3 is 21. One number to the right of a decimal, either way, it's 21 feet. Fractions are your friend. So one of the tallest buildings in the world is 1,700 feet. There is a much taller building now than that, but that was just a few decades ago. The tallest building was around that height. So we're going to start with 1,700 feet. And we're going to use a scale of 1 inch equals 200 feet. So the 200 feet goes here. The 1 inch goes there. Feet cancel. The 2 zeros cancel. So we have 17 over 2. So 16 over 2 is 8. So this is 8.5 inches for a model. Typically, on a big construction project like a skyscraper, the architect makes a model. Right, so let's measure that. So now, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Halfway is 8/16. So that is 12/16. If you can simplify 12/16 in your head, that would be helpful here. Oh, that's 3/4. So this, I measured this distance right here, and it was 3/4 of an inch. What's the actual room? Well, it was on a drawing that said that 1 inch equaled 16 feet. Cancel the 4 with the 16, and it's 3 times 4, 12 over 1, also known as 12 feet long. Good luck with the homework.